So today on Death to Stock, we're looking at Andertons, right? Now, this is one of my favorites for content. And I just want to show you something before I go into who these guys are, right?
Okay.
Andertons Music Co. UK, 961,000 subscribers, 4,300 videos. It's pretty solid lot of content, right?
Serious. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these guys are a single store
Yep.
outside of London.
Yep.
They're a family-owned business.
Really?
Yep. Family-owned business,
Okay.
single store, single location.
Okay.
Serious amount of content.
That's amazing.
Now, I double-checked this
because
I've been following these guys. We're musos and or wannabe musos. Here's the muso, I'm the wannabe. Did I point the right way?
Yeah, close enough.
Good. And I hope I did it the other way by accident. So we watch gear reviews, right? Now let's look at what these guys are doing, right? So it's a big channel. They've actually got other channels there as well.
Yep.
And then if we check their playlists out, there's a lot of tales from the guitar department. NAMM, have a look at this, 37 videos from NAMM, which is the biggest North American guitar show. And then they're playing unboxing. They've got guitar questions answered. Here's a new product, new line of basses. They're looking at, it's just gear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so because I'd seen them and that they're so prolific, I'm like, these guys are going to be a chain.
Yes.
And before I spoke about them today, I double checked to make sure. I know they're not a chain. I know they're one, but I double checked. They're playing with the big boys in content here, right?
Wow.
And if you look at even then, let's have a look at their production values.
Yep.
Hey everybody, Nick Jennison is in the house.
Coffee handed.
Exactly. If you
It's very relaxed, right?
Nick in an Andertons video,
But
go and check
they look how beautiful it is. They got some graphics. They're doing some comps.
How many views per video are we talking, Todd?
Okay. What's interesting is they've got massive amounts of views.
Okay.
Let's have a look at this guy. So 40,000.
Beautiful.
On can a pedal sound as good as an amp?
Yeah.
Right. Here's some other things that you are going to love.
Yeah.
Let's have a little look here. So guitar questions are answered.
Standard, so standard. This is the most standard of content ideas, right?
Yeah, but check it out. It's 54 minutes.
Wow.
So they're doing so. Let's have a look.
So long content.
They've got a lot of shorts. I've got a lot of shorts. Their shorts are all varied. That's great.
Okay.
380,000, 187,000. A lot of views on their shorts.
Yep.
But when you get down to some of these other videos, there's 281 shorts. They've got 15 on pedals, right?
Yep.
But a lot of their videos, there's 54 minutes. 53 minutes, 59. Now, let's just have a look at this, right? This is a...
Chris, you like Tube Screamers?
Tube Screamers, right? Now, all guitar players know TS-808, TS-919s, I can't even remember if that's what they call. They are 81s. They are a Tube Screamer, which is just a distortion sound, right? Every guitar enthusiast is looking for a distortion pedal, a Tube Screamer. They've done a 53-minute video. It's not a 7-minute look.
Yeah.
It's not a, here's our product, buy it. It's establish ourselves as a authority in musical instruments.
Yeah.
Now, when I went researching them a little bit more, what's really interesting, family company, founded in 1964, and you're going to love this, right?
Wow.
3rd generation, but check this out, right? His dad didn't even want him to be in the business. They talk about the 60s to the 80s. This is just an article about them. And then they said they're one of the early adopters of selling online. Then later they got into the YouTube thing. That's the tipping point where we went from being a well-known musical store to a global brand because so many people watch the YouTube channel.
Wow.
Content marketing.
Oh my goodness. What the most perfect example.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And here's a crazy question for you.
Yeah.
Right? So are they a guitar store with a YouTube channel, or are they now a YouTube channel that sells guitars?
Well, it's very interesting because they're both things that, so what
But the YouTube channel is now
So they're shipping.
So huge.
They're shipping guitars worldwide.
Of course they are.
Right.
Of course they are.
Right, and they are known worldwide. Now, I sent Clay a pic last night of mine's gone blank. F1 driver. I sent Clay a pic last night of
Liam Lawson. The
going over there.
the
F1
driver. Yeah.
So hilarious, right? That there people go if like one, they're a local music store.
Yeah.
Two, if you're anywhere in London, well, you're outside of London, but you're
Yeah.
probably going there. If you're anywhere in the UK,
Yeah.
if you're an Australian going across there, I bet you're going in,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And buying a pedal or leads
merch
or
or something, right? Like you need merch. Like, and the idea that, well, it's a bonus that they can sell online, right? That's a bonus.
Correct.
But and it might be the largest part of their sales now, right?
Yeah.
It might be online sales.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that let's say, oh, okay, well, Clayton, we're a business, we don't sell online, right? That's fine.
That's fine.
Would you like tourists from all over the world coming to see you?
Or do you want to be known in your area as the authority, the go-to, front of mind all the time because you've built a brand, you've built an audience, you're engaging with that audience constantly? You know, they've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah,
It's
an amazing example.
I want to show you quickly, right? I know this isn't necessarily the best matrix. Andertons Music Co, one store, 4,200 reviews. I looked in the general area just outside of London.
Yeah.
I found Ripley's Guitars, 59 reviews.
Yeah.
I found Guitar Village, 379 reviews, right?
Yeah.
So these guys are now starting to, and look, they're all kind of, there they are, they're all around that area there, you know?
Yeah.
I just want to read you a bit more of this article because you're going to love it. Here's the third generation guy.
Yes.
Over time, we learned that video isn't simply about touting the features and benefits of a particular product and thereby hoping for more sales of that product. His matrix is not performance marketing.
Yes.
You're going to love this. It was about content that built relationships and community.
Yeah.
It was about people seeing our personality and going, oh, I like Anderton videos. I think I'll start shopping with them now. Dude.
Right there.
This guy's nailed content marketing.
It's the most perfect example. This is, and this may be too good an example.
I've spoiled it for everyone.
You've spoiled it for every small, medium, and big business, right? Because this is just an incredible performance. And one of the things I love so much about it is that it showcases that the barriers to entry on content are so low.
Yeah.
They are so low, especially now with TikTok.
Yep.
And more and lo-fi, that everyone wants lo-fi. So it's even easier.
Yeah.
These guys probably started like pre-TikTok.
Sure.
And so the production values, there was a little bit more higher production values seemed to be expected.
Yes.
But now, I mean, the barriers are so low.
Yeah.
Right.
They've spent a lot of money on their studio and their setup. That back then was the way to do it because it needed to look good. But to your point, you don't need to do that anymore.
You don't even need to do that. Now, I think that as your audience grows, I think you do see that these channels do improve their production value.
Yep.
And it becomes a competitive advantage, right?
To look better and sound better.
To look better and sound better. And look, do you know what? Now that I think about it, you look back at a lot of the old videos of some of the huge creators and they were garbage production value. Yeah. So it's almost never mattered, right?
No, it's never mattered.
People have managed to build followings and build audience and engage audience with low quality content.
Also, you always make this point is what happens is you get bigger and you get more well known and your production values goes out and your reach gets wider. That's all great and good and wonderful.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean when you were smaller and grungier and nicher, it wasn't valuable because you might have only had 100 views, but if it's 100 of the right people who are right into the product or the service you're offering, and they're in your local area or they're ready to buy online or whatever, does it matter?
Yes.
Are you caring? You're going, I only sold 100 $1 million cars.
Correct.
I wish I had 10,000 views. Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Incredible example, man.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you this. How did they do this? How have they done this?
Oh, I think they have done it. Here's one of the things we talk about it with what we're doing with content with people. They've done it with consistency.
Yeah.
Right? They have committed time and effort and energy and money to it,
Yeah.
and they have kept doing it.
Yeah.
They talk about a tipping point that happened, but they didn't start going, you know what, I think this will be the tipping point with the business. They went, what can we do to get our business known? Let's get something out there. Where's there a low barrier? Well, we could just produce some content.
Yeah.
Right? And then as it's grown, they've started to realize it, and then they have leaned into it and I'd love to see their marketing mix. I bet you they're not spending a lot of money on TV, radio, press, bus shelters.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've said, put our money, our marketing dollar into this. They've made a strategy.
Strategic focus.
Correct.
Consistency over time.
Correct. And they've kept going. This is a perfect example for death to stock.
Death to stock, yeah. No,
They're doing their own.
They do your own, yeah.